Okay, so where am I exactly? Did I take a wrong turn at another tree stump again? I swear that if I don't find the darkest part of the jungle soon, I'm really gonna lose my wings here! Oh, well, that definitely spared a amount of time. Now, if I could just find the spirit animals of the My Hero Academia characters, then I'll be all set. That is, if they're friendly. Hello? Hello? Are there any animals around? Hello again, folks. This is Dragon Videos, and I'm featuring another spirit animals of My Hero Academia. But this time around, I'm going to do something different. Listen up, because the main topic this time is the League of Villains. Or more specifically, I'm looking into the spirit animals that represent the League of Villains. True, they have changed their name in the recent chapters, but I thought it'd be best to stick to their original names. Each of the individuals of My Hero Academia are quite interesting. However, they really still are... what's a nice word to put it? Frightening. Nightmare fuel, anyone? Anyway, there will be spoilers later on in the series, so if many of you have seen the manga or not, please don't get mad at me. Anyway, let's begin. Let's see, what's the next? Ah, perfect timing. The elephant is the largest land mammal in existence, commonly found in Asia and Africa. They're very strong and mostly because they can knock down trees, which in turn produces many seeds. You see, Jin, or Twice, felt like the perfect candidate for the elephant, usually because of his backstory. In Season 3, he started off as a little goofy and comical, but then as we learned later in episode 24 in Season 3, we learned that with Twice, it's more difficult than that, emotionally because of his scars. It's similar to the abuse that circus elephants had faced in the past, though thankfully they no longer have to do that anymore, which is no doubt similar to the psychological torture that Jin had to face in the Meta Liberation arc. Let it be known, that moment was the most horrific scene in My Hero Academia. Thanks a lot, Skeptic. You really screwed him over this time around. And of course, Jin was a very social person, though he had difficulty making friends, which is why he had made clones in the first place. Elephants are also like that too. Usually it's the females and the babies that form the herds, and the bull elephants go about by themselves, only coming to mate. But it still doesn't change the fact of how close the herd animals are. Because of their bond, they were always a symbol of loyalty, which is also similar to how Jin behaves. You see, he always is close to friends like Gurren and also to Himiko Toga. They were always there for him, so he always returns that loyalty, no matter how much pain and suffering that he has to endure throughout the process. Oh, poor Toga. And of course, when it comes to fighting back, he can really nail it down. His sad man parade was like that of a bull elephant. I'm pretty sure some of you are familiar to the damage that a regular elephant can cause, mostly if you've seen them take down a car or other vehicles. So word to the wise, don't get an elephant pissed off. Next up, we have another character who really packs a punch. Himiko Toga, though she's an average high school girl, is scary as heck. Vampire Bat would have been appropriate for her because, well, she has that horrible obsession with blood, and some people would think that a cat would be appropriate because of her cat-like features, and also because, well, when she was a kid, she actually killed a bird in the same manner a cat would and brought it back home. but a tiger would have been more fitting for her because of their ferocity among any things. After all, she had the qualities of not only getting very angry when someone stands in her way, but she has the title of man-eater, similar to that of lions and to that of leopards. Cringy as that sounds, it's true. Also, because of Toga's obsession with blood, she seems almost uncaring. Except when you come across in the Yakuza arc of how she always so compassionate with twice all the time, which is why I always found them to be a couple. Cats are affectionate, though they don't show it as much. Same would be said about the tigers. They would protect their own cubs if necessary. And of course, even though their coloring may seem to stand out, tigers are actually great masters of hunting, using their stripes to actually camouflage into the brightly colored grass. Though that's similar to that of Toga, because she too also camouflages, but not in the way you would think. Though with her transformation quirk, when she has enough blood, she can take the form of another person. However, the result she has with it always makes it risque at times. And I'll put it as that. I will not have this go over the PG limit. Alright guys, we're nearly done here. Just have to go through 2 more spirit animals and I'll leave the jungle. And here's one already. Snakes are usually cunning creatures, specializing in hiding in the brush of darkness and striking when the moment is right. Usually that always applies to pit vipers or venomous snakes, while with these snakes, the constrictors, always try to constrict or coil up around their prey. Snakes usually, in some cultures, symbolize wisdom, but they're also, in some cultures, have negative aspects such as their cunning behavior. This results in basically all for one's ideal spirit animal, because he is cunning for a lot of good reasons. In the past, he was considered a huge threat, manipulating others like Tomura to do his bidding by either giving them their power or taking it away. If some of you remember in my last video, he was only using Tomura only for his own selfish deeds. What that deed is, I still do not know yet, as the rest of the fans are. Hold up, we still have one more spirit animal that I think fit all for one pretty darn well. Run! This guy's dangerous, with a capital D. The Tyrannosaurus Rex was nicknamed the King of Dinosaurs, and the name translates Terrible Lizard King. The T-Rex always had a special ability to move despite the tiny arms. It's so destructive it killed both prey and predator alike. So don't let those tiny arms fool you, as I have said before. Of course, we've seen this sort of destruction that Over One had caused in Season 3, which I'm pretty sure kept giving fans nightmares, and despite the fact that he is shriveled up and always hiding in the shadows on more than one occasion and giving off ominous conversations, you still can't help but get this dangerous vibe off of him, especially when he shows off his quirk All for One, which still gives us chills of how amazing that All Might was able to take him down in the first place. Let's just hope we don't see him too much in the future, as well as his T-Rex friend. Now, after we're done with the jungle, it is off to the dark forest. So, here we go. Aw, man, I said to forest, not to mountains. Well, back to square one. Well, at least I won't be alone this time. A coyote is always known as the trickster in some fairy tales, always trying to destroy or mistreat others in a certain way. And I felt like this would be suitable for one con man, and that would be Gurren. Gurren was always considered, well, not the best in my opinion. Usually, what I found that to be ideal was his obsession with money. When Stain came into the scene, he seemed like he wanted nothing more than to roll in cash. And that definitely says a lot of my disrespect for him. He seemed like the kind of guy who would sell anyone out. But that all changed in the Meta Liberation arc, where he refused to sell the League of Villains out despite being beaten, bruised, and practically mutilated on more than one occasion. And the way he is always kind to Twice really shows that there's more to Gurren than just being a dealer. In some ways, that also suits him in terms of a coyote. Despite the coyote being a trickster and scavenger, coyotes are having a family system. They're loyal to each other, and they always stay together no matter what. Even though there's one guy who seems redeemable in some qualities, there's one that I feel like you'd always have a high alert for. Well, look who finally arrived. It's another spirit animal of the next character that I'm planning to talk about. And what that bird is? Well, it's a famous bird of prey you see in the media, and a sinister one at that. The vulture is one of the few bird species I know that has a balding head, and you would see one in North America called the turkey vulture. These scavengers, though you would see them with predators, they're opportunistic. They would search high and low in order to find their meat, but they're also very cunning. Some, I've heard, have been able to break eggshells with their rocks. I thought Dobby would be an ideal candidate for the vulture, mostly because, one, he can be a bit laid back at times, but when it comes to a fight, he can really nail you down with his blue flames. Also, vultures are very vigilant when they're looking for food. And again, I thought this would be appropriate for Dobby because he's so committed that he will use any flames possible against villains that aren't worthy of their cause. Now, here comes my next lizard-based character. Iguana would have been thought of as one of the ideal spirit animals for this character, or a monitor lizard. Yes, we're going through a huge lizard theme, and they are, I'm not gonna try to go further with this. So I thought Spinner deserves better. He was always considered maybe the least talked about character in My Hero Academia. He kind of is quirky, but was also a victim of prejudice, so he didn't know how to interact with others right. So, dragons seemed ideal for the most part, mostly because they are very large and they always have a huge symbolism. Associating with earth, water, fire, and air, they could be either greatly destructive or in some cases great allies to the humankind. And that's where I felt like Spinner would be appropriate for, because in some ways he's neutral evil, what I've seen so far in the manga and in the anime. He's focused on trying to live with the ideals of Stain, but he always keeps questioning a lot of things. And even now, after reading the Meta Liberation arc, I feel like I'm also uncertain of where they're gonna go with Spinner's character arc. Anyway, I'm going to fly ahead and search for what I'm looking for. Let's see, the Dark Forest should be right around about... here we are. I'm going to go over the next couple of spirit animals that are residing in this forest. I'm pretty sure one of them will turn up right about now. Incoming! The owl is one of the nocturnal birds in existence, aside from the snowy owl, which is a daytime hunter. Now, owls have very roundish face and known to have a flexible neck that is 360. They're also known as a symbol of wisdom, which is why in some fantasy stories you would see them in here. Some of you may be familiar with Winnie the Pooh's owl. What makes them such efficient hunters is that their wings are designed in a way where their feathers are buffering up the sound. So when you hear them flapping, you don't hear any noise. So who exactly is lucky enough to have this bird? I know, it's such a bad pun and I'm so sorry I had to say it. Jokes aside, Kurogiri is the ideal candidate for this bird. Mostly because he's very smart. Despite his small time on the anime and the manga, he really is an efficient, intelligent character. He always has to make sure that Tomura behaves himself, as I mentioned in the top 5 intimidating villains in My Hero Academia. He tries to reason with Tomura, trying to make him pay attention to what's important in their mission and in his goals. What also makes him such a smarty pants is that how he uses his warping abilities. He can use it in a way where it can backlash on the heroes, as well as destroying them with their own quirk. Now, further up around here, I'm going to also find another bird. This one is going to be a bit more harmless than the owl. Ah, and here's a whole flock of them right now, just enjoying a nice day out. Hopefully not getting eaten by cats at any moment. Blue jays are known to be part of the jaybird family. They're also related to crows, surprisingly. I know, it sounds weird, but it's true. Mr. Compress felt like the ideal candidate because they're both tricksters. Or in cases with Mr. Compress, he's always a show-off, making his marbles appear after he compresses something. He's also very vigilant in what he does. He also pays attention to the situation. And like blue jays, they're small and very flight-footed, so they're able to avoid danger whenever possible. And last but not least, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going over one of the last spirit animals that are residing in the forest. Quick question. What do the 3 little pigs and Little Red Riding Hood have in common? And what's a common villain animal? Ah, here they are. The wolf was one heck of a spirit animal that you really don't want to tangle with too often. Tomura Shigaraki was the ideal candidate for this one for many reasons. I decided to pick it based on his personality as well as his appearance. It is very ghostly and frightening at times, as well as how I got that idea based off of how he compared people to sheep. So, aside from that, I felt like there were 2 lone dynamics, as well as the term lone wolf comes into play because he always is off on his own. Mentally and emotionally, he always seems distant from others, as you would see earlier in the series. He doesn't want to be involved with anyone. But over time, he started to become more, caring was probably as a gentle word I can put it for him. And it's understandable because he was always abused and misunderstood. In a lot of ways, this is true to that of the wolf. The wolf has been misunderstood for quite some time. They're very emotional and caring creatures. They look after one another, which is no different when Tomura always gets concerned with the rest of his crew as he sees it in the Meta Liberation arc. And wolves always work together. So over time, Tomura became a team player. And because of his relationship with the rest of the crew, it's not as manipulative, more like he's starting to view them as comrades and friends than mere tools for his destruction. Speaking of destruction, I think we best to talk about the negative aspect of wolves. You see, wolves are symbolized for cruelty and ruthlessness, which is unfortunately part of a reason why we had werewolf movies in existence. So Tomura Shigaraki really has evolved over time in terms of being a terrifying villain through his powers. Let's just hope Izuku can fare with this a bit and that the outcome would be positive. So, these are my opinions, and I would like to hear yours. Give me a comment and subscribe to my channel whenever possible. I hope you have a good day.